All right. So it's Sunday morning. I've got the sun in my eyes, but I'm going to work on it's a Craftsman reel mower, and this guy dropped this off. He said he's had it for quite a few years. It's been sitting around for a couple of years in his garage, and the last time he took it somewhere to get serviced, he got the blades sharpened, which they do feel sharp, but he said when he got it and when he tried to start it, had a hard time starting, and he saw some metal flakes down in the gas tank or something, and looks to be in really good shape. He said he saw some metal flakes or something, and he brought it back to him, and because it wouldn't he saw the metal shavings, and it would not start, and I think he brought it back to him to try to get it started from them, and they said no, it wasn't our fault, blah blah blah, and apparently he got pissed off and just took it home. How long ago that was, I don't know. But so I've got it. And I was also looking at the blade. That's not bad. I'll just make sure that's adjusted right. And I guess the first thing I'm going to do is take a good look in the gas tank and in the carburetor, make sure there's no metal shavings anywhere, and check the oil. I'm just going to give it a good look over and make sure there's no metal shavings in the way anywhere at all, and see if we can get it started. Alright, so I have a lot of shadows I'm dealing with here with the sun coming up. Hopefully you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. I'm still just doing stuff out in the yard here, but I'll go on the cement there under the porch later on some future videos. It's just I've got so much stuff back there, but slowly cleaning it out. All right. Looks fine. And last but not least, let's take a look at the gasoline. Yeah, it's definitely old gas. There's an orange tint to it and a smell. So I don't know if he had any kind of gas treatment in there. But I don't see any metal shavings or anything like that. I think I just need to drain the gas and put some new gas in there. Alright, so I got the gas out of there, and you can see this one doesn't have any fuel hoses or anything like that. It's not gravity fed. It has the carburetor that pulls it up out of the bottom and then into that reservoir. Old style carb. But so it's pretty easy. You can see it's on the corner here, so I was just able to tip this thing over and get the gas out. And sure there's oil in here. Yep, there's oil. Looks to be in good shape too. So I'll do the usual. I'm going to put some gas in it, and then we'll see if it'll crank. See if it'll try. If not, then I'll check the spark. If there is spark and it still won't start, I'll double check the carburetor, but then I could also check the compression. And Alright, so the choke is on. I'll put the throttle about halfway. Can't tell if there's gas getting in there. I think I'm going to dribble a little gas down in here, down into the carburetor. Okay, it tried, so it's not sucking up anything into the carburetor. Alright, so I guess I need to take this carburetor off, and so we've got a few screws here. This linkage comes off. It gives a clearance hole here to get your, looks like it's a Torx, a T20 I believe. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 holding it down, and then there's 2 for the intake going into the cylinder. So let's get these off, and we'll check out the carburetor, because apparently it's just trying to crank over whatever gas I can put into it from up here. It'll run, but it's not sucking up the gas. And I'll show you, maybe it's clogged up, but let's get this sucker off. Everything looks super clean. I'm just guessing that it's probably just needs to be cleaned up. It probably has the varnish from old gas clogging things up, because the gas that came out of it was pretty yellowed and stinky. Okay, so everything's coming off. I'll save you the video time. I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me take this nut off. But once I get the carburetor off, then we'll take a look at it. So I got the carburetor, the intake, unbolted here, but it's kind of hard to, you can see, I need to pull it way up, so I'm just going to have to drop the gas tank. I only put about half a tank in there. I just want to make sure I don't spill it all over the place. Then we'll take a look at the carburetor. Alright, you can see I got it off. I have the gas tank balancing right here so that it won't spill off. But you can see this is one of those carburetors that this dips down, so it's sucking in gas from the bottom of the gas tank, and then it fills up a little reservoir that's right up here on the gas tank. So it goes from here to here, and then from this reservoir it gets sucked in. So somewhere in here it is clogged. Yeah, everything looks pretty clean, doesn't it? The screens are not clogged. But I guess I'll clean all that out. Make sure this is adjusted properly. Kind of looks like it's just all the way down, doesn't it? It's just stuck in there. And let's take that off. Let's take this off first. Yeah, I don't work a whole lot on these carburetors. I have before, but basically I usually just take them apart, clean them, and put them back together. But if something drastically goes wrong with it, and everything looks really clean, doesn't it? Let me get some carb cleaner and I'll start just cleaning everything off. So everything looks to be in good shape except this, which I don't know why. There we go. Able to back that off. Yeah, I'll just clean all this off and we'll put it back together and hope for the best, huh? Everything else looks okay. Alright, so I changed the battery on my camera, and all I did was clean out the jets here, took this one off, cleaned it out. Cleaned out the diaphragm. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. It's just this one felt kind of tight, kind of hard to clean. I hope I got it done, but everything else looks okay. You can see there's that little reservoir I was talking about. So it sucks it up through here from the bottom, deposits it into that little chamber, and that's where it's sucked up and regulated. I want to make sure there's no it's all pretty clean. So let's put it all together and see if it cranks. Alright, so everything's back on. Make sure your throttle lever's working properly. Choke is working properly. So I'll leave the choke on. So I'll just put it about halfway. Spark plug's on. Let's see if it'll crank. Almost. Alright, well, it's running. Looks like it needs some adjustments. You can see I was trying to pull this tab in and out to adjust the throttle. Whenever I'm trying to push it, it seems like it's wavering there. But you can see how this is all bent out of shape. And yeah, so I think if I just try to get that back into shape here. I think it's going to run okay. Let's try it again. Alright, well, I think that's got it finally. Just had to take the carburetor off, clean it out. I just think it was just old gas all over everything. And you can see when I was adjusting for the throttles and RPMs, getting some of the linkages back, bent back into shape. and I think if I run it for a while and keep flushing some of that crap out of there, which, you know, really wasn't that bad, but you can see it's already running pretty good. So I think that's it. The only thing I didn't check, looks like the blades were sharpened, but I don't know if they were adjusted properly. So, you know, if they aren't, I guess I'll continue this video. But alright, so I just did a quick adjustment on the blades. The blades are definitely sharp, but it seemed like it was really tight when I was trying to cut. So it's pretty easy. It was just these two bolts on each side, and then you go up and down. And what I try to do, say like on this side, I'll position this part of the blade right at the bottom of your cutting bar, and then tighten it down there, and then do the same thing on this side. And be aware, I mean, it's tilting back and forth, right? So I let it rest on this side, then I go over here, do the same thing, let it rest, tighten it down, and then make sure that it's even, you know, because when you start playing with it, you're cocking it back and forth. And then to check it, you can see how I just stuck these cards in here, and let me see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, see, it just cuts it like a pair of scissors. So if I can get that, well, it'll come out. But that's it. I just had to take this cover off to reach these two bolts, and then while I was in there I WD-40'd his chain. Kind of dirty. That's it. Alright, well, that is it for this video. Got this Craftsman reel mower running and adjusted properly. Everything's looking pretty good, so that's it. And thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video.